Week of Kindness Speaker Standout Series with the founder of the summit and host of the show, Tony Kaufman. I am your co host, Blanca, the founder of the platform. And our guest today is Speaker Melanie Herschorn. Tony, tell us about Melanie.
Hi, Melanie. Half the fun of all these events is that we get to play with all these new, wonderful, amazing authors, healers, speakers, and entrepreneurs. And Melanie has a purpose in life. She wants to make your book and your brand sparkle online. I love it. That's exactly what we need, Melanie. She is a content marketing strategist for coaches, consultants, and speakers on a worldwide scale. So she's on a mission to support and empower her clients to create clear messaging and content that shines. Love it, Melody. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
So listen, we really want to get people excited about you. What part of where are you? What part of the country are you in?
Oh, I am hiding in my basement in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm hiding from COVID.
And actually, that's probably the coolest place in town, right?
Truly is, yeah.
I have a lot of friends in Phoenix, and there's no basements in Texas, right? So that's the whole Pee Wee Herman thing. There's no basements in the Alamo, but you guys have them, and it's actually really cool because it's like a whole nother room for you. If we had that in Houston, I would be underwater. So,
Oh, yes, you would definitely.
so Melody, how did you get into the book business, and then on top of that, the branding business?
Oh goodness, Tony, it is such a circuitous route. I'll try to take you in a short way. So I started out in PR. Then I realized that when I had a redheaded comedian telling me off on my birthday twice, that I should probably do something else. So I went to journalism and I became a journalist and I loved it so much. Then I got laid off when I was 5 months pregnant. Then I said, I have to be an entrepreneur. So I'm going to design and manufacture breastfeeding clothing. So that I did. And then when I hired somebody to help me with my social media marketing, and she turned out to be an emotionally and verbally abusive, toxic person, I shut the business and I thought, what can I do now? And so I took all that experience and I put it together and I started helping entrepreneurs, business owners with their marketing with a goal to empower them to get their message out so that they know that they can do this. And so working with authors was a natural progression because authors have this beautiful gold mine built-in message. I just summed that up really quickly. I can't
No, that was, and that's it. We asked you to be concise, but folks, this is the quality of the speakers that the Week of Kindness and Gratitude is bringing to you. So I have some homework for each of you. If you're listening to us today, you can go to the it's called weekofkindness.com and you register. And guess what? Thanks to people like Blanca and Melanie and our wonderful sponsors and our wonderful speakers, sponsors, and keynotes, you get a free ticket. So for 7 days, you get to play with us, listen to us. We've got 91 speakers right now, and we have over 100 gifts valued at about $45,000. And guess what? Melanie and I and Blanca and all of the speakers are under orders to give it away. So all you've got to do is play with us, comment, interact with us, let us know you like the event, whatever it takes for you to communicate out to us so that you can get one of those $45,000 or maybe more. One or more of the $45,000 in gifts. All you've got to do is come play with us on weekofkindness.com. Melanie, so tell me, okay, we talked a little bit about books. So are you actually publishing the books or you're helping? Yeah.
No.
Okay.
So
All right.
I bridge the gap between
Okay.
publishing and publicity because what happens is when authors they publish their book, they're so excited and they say, "Oh, I need a publicist." So then they work with a publicist who will get them on, a big morning show, and then nobody buys any books because their online presence doesn't exist, or it exists and it's confusing.
Oh,
So I
wow.
work with authors to create beautiful, clear messaging and build up their online platforms so that, like a client of mine, David, whose book is not even out yet, he already has 12 100 pre-orders.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. So
That's the
yeah, you do bridge the gap because I mean, every time that we see a lot of the publicists and a lot of the publishers are out there that help authors take you all the way up to where you become the number one, sensation
bestseller. Yeah.
bestseller in Amazon. But it could be in 6 or 10 categories that like nobody knows about.
And it's great for your confidence,
Yeah,
but it might not be great for book sales. And so many authors write a book not just so they can sell books, but it's maybe they want to leverage it so they can fill programs.
yeah.
Maybe they want to speak on stages like this one. And so that's the beauty of having your online presence really mapped out and working for you and growing your community and getting people who are excited. Like all the people watching right now, you guys are super excited because of Tony, because of Blanca, because of all the amazing speakers, right? You're
Oh
here
yeah.
because of our social presence. So it works.
It does work, and I love that. So okay, so part of the fun that we're having is number one, the speakers not only get to talk to you and describe their journey, because I love talking to I'm a fanatic on the hero's journey. So we take you from where they started all the way to what they've got, and so basically, here's the secret. So if those of you who want to take notes very quickly, there's 5 major steps to creating a perfect person like Melanie and our perfect interview. So one of those is the introduction. So whenever you're speaking out there, this is, by the way, a $15,000 course. So if you want it for free, I'm about to give it to you. Okay. So first you create an introduction. You let people know what they're going to hear in the next, 15, 20, 30 minutes. And then second of all, we create your story, where you're from, what do you serve, what kind of what makes you endearing to the folks that you speak with. And I think this is the reason I'm sharing this, is because it runs right alongside what Melanie does with you when you're branding. So how to make your brand sparkle, make sure that you always mention these few things: the introduction, the story, the pain that you went through, the solutions that you caused. And now, if they're still here after 20, 30, 40 minutes, an hour, that means they probably want to work with you. So you give them something free to work with, right, Melanie?
Exactly.
Isn't that a simple formula?
That's great. And anybody who says, well, I don't want to give away anything for free. Well, I'll tell you what, that's how people develop that know, like, and trust factor with you. Right? That's how people aren't going to pull out their credit card if they don't know anything about you. That's like proposing on a first date. You don't do that.
We actually have a speaker with that as a title. Stop proposing
Really?
marriage on the first date.
I love that. Exactly.
I think it's Catherine O'Leary. She's one of our sponsors, and she's a cutie pie. But yeah,
That's the point. So yeah. So now I'm just supporting her whole speech.
the whole
That's
time.
the whole time. Go see her and me.
I'll arrange the referrals and the introductions later. But guys, this is the secret to it. I mean, the idea is if you've got even a glimmer of a light in your heart saying, I want to be an entrepreneur, but I don't know how to start it, a book is a great way to get started. And I know it sounds daunting because it did to me. I mean, with my ADHD and everything else that I suffer with, writing a book was like probably the last thing I would ever think of doing, because I'm scared to death of how the paragraphs sound together. Because I could read a paragraph really, really, really well, but you put 5 of them on a page, and I will be there for probably an hour trying to make sure that they work together. And I have to hear it, and I have to see it. And so that's my life. And to do a book, can you imagine? Can you do a book like that?
Well, and there's so many tricks too, right? Now you can speak into your phone and it'll transcribe it for you. I mean, there's so many tricks to writing the book, but I have to tell you that once you have the book, it's like birthing a baby, right? But then you have to raise the baby.
You have to raise it, right?
You don't just leave the baby to fend for itself. And that's what happens with authors when they say, okay, well, book's out. No. you gotta let people know. You gotta send people invites to the party.
Okay. All right. So what you're saying is that once they've done the book, if they've already achieved, the best-selling author status, so to speak, internationally or whatever, on Amazon, the next step is, okay, what do we do So I guess the next step is, do we order a bunch of them and go start doing book signings? What do you do next?
Well, that is a great idea.
Uh-huh.
But even before the book is published, I would recommend you start marketing it. And
Okay.
that is really the space that I live in. So when your book is at least written, not out, but written, that's when you
Okay.
want to start promoting that it's coming out. So that when you do achieve Amazon international bestseller status, you're already selling books to people who are really your ideal readers. Because anybody can call all their friends and family and say, hey, buy this book at this time and I'll be a bestseller. Great. But if they're not going to be your ideal reader, then it's not really serving you. So, yes, do the book signings. Those are wonderful. But you have so many more opportunities to on a global scale by creating your online presence.
Well, and that makes sense. So let me ask you this: if you can plan out a strategy for someone who is writing, in the process of writing a book, but they don't know what to do next, and because the end all is not just get a bestseller on Amazon. The end all is to get your book out there because it's important. Your message is important, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So can you give me like a sample timeline of what we should do when we hire? What happens when we hire you?
Yeah, well, when I work one-on-one with clients, I love to have them working with me 3 months before the book is going to launch so that we can build up your online presence and have it working for you already before its launch date. And then when the book launches, the book is published, it does not fall off a cliff. You can continue to promote it. And yes, your book was already published, but guess what? It's evergreen and people still want to read it. So then we work on building up your community and getting people really excited about your book and your brand as a whole.
I love it. I love it. So, guys, this is just step one. So, number one, get out a book or get the idea going. Have a conversation with Melanie, and see where this could go. Because sometimes you end up being an international bestseller, not only on Amazon, but our goal is, the Times, the New York Times, and all of the other ones that actually count as book sales versus just a digital sale, right? So that's kind of
Absolutely.
your goal. Yeah.
And even more because sometimes it's not about making money from the book unless you're James Patterson or Stephen King. The
Right.
money really is in what you do with the book, how you
Right.
leverage what's in the book to grow your presence and
And
to grow your sales.
I love that because I've seen friends of mine like Steve Osher, for example, has created, What is Your What? And I recommend that book especially to entrepreneurs who are just getting started. But actually so many of my friends have created entire courses around their book, and their book is basically a workbook for
Yeah,
for the course. I see that, Blanca, you've done that yourself. There's so many things like that.
it's true. I mean, I think having a course complement, there's all these digital assets, podcasting, webcasting, being an author, having a course, having events. And these are all the components of a platform. And it sounds like you're really able to deliver so much, Melanie, to your clients in such a personalized way. I mean, you seem like you'd be really fun to work with too.
Thank you. I certainly love what I do, and I am honored to partner with authors to help them get their message out into the world.
Well, and
Amazing. Oh, sorry. I was just
no,
going to
no problem. I was going to say that's exactly why we created the author production category. I believe it's author development. There it is. Wait. Go up a little bit. The categories themselves. I think it says author development, and we started that right there. Author development.
There you
Brenda
go.
Pierce is our category sponsor for that this time. Last
Wonderful.
January, we had Kelly Filardo. And she does a lot of book writing. I love her dearly.
Love
But she's incredible. And I wanted to share the youth. Did you see the four little guys that are there?
let
You
me
guys
see
have
them. Where are they?
got right there.
Wow, look
Aren't
at
they
that.
cute? So this
They're
is the week of Father's
incredible.
Day. We are some of these folks, some of these young kids have created nonprofits to help their community. Mosari is one. He goes by Mo. But we've got a new one that's going to be put up tonight, whose name is Tiberius, which is, of course, James T. Kirk's middle name. Ooh, that's total geek, isn't it? I'm totally Star Trek. Now you know my secret. James Tiberius Kirk was his last. But anyway, Tiberius is coming in. This young guy has a podcast that is to kill for. He's going to be speaking at our event as well. So, and they're like 7, 9, 11. I think the eldest one here is 18. It's just great. I love having them.
Well, I can't believe how much you're pulling together, how much community you're pulling together. So everybody go to weekofkindness.com and, for sure register. Obviously, book for Melanie Herschorn's speech, book for all the niches and speeches that appeal to you. This is a free summit. Look at, there's over 80 speakers, $45,000 in free gifts, over 25 sponsors. This is really an opportunity of a lifetime that you are offering, Tony, through this week of kindness. And everyone's being kind because they're bringing their wisdom and they're bringing their free gifts. So register now at weekofkindness.com. I think it's a no-brainer.
That's what I like to call it. And you
Easiest thing you'll do all day.
Exactly. And you've got to select Melanie. I mean, she's got such an incredible talk and she's got so many gifts to offer. And what is the name of your actual gift? Because this is important too. I think I put it on the chat.
It's your ultimate book marketing checklist. So
I love it.
Start writing. You can follow along with how you can start promoting your book too.
And see, I mean, like, honestly, this is great. Great. So, folks, I do ask all of my sponsors or all of my speakers to bring a gift, and the minimum level of participation for a gift is it has to be valued above $197. So, if you, and some of our folks have brought in gifts that are worth $10,000. So, I mean, that's the reality of what we're doing is we're bringing this to you, and we absolutely love having them, playing with them, listening to their stories, watching their journey, their hero's journey, and then combining that with what they want to do to help you. So if you or your family or your friends or your tribe or your community, if you know anyone who's got even a glimmer of hope to starting their own business, or growing their business or expanding their business, this is the event for you. So come join us. And it starts on Father's Day, June 19th, and goes all the way through the 25th. So come join us.
All right. Well, everyone, thanks for watching. Melanie Herschorn, it's an honor to interview you today with the award-winning producer, Tony Kaufman, the founder of the summit. Everybody register at weekofkindness.com and love, comment, and share this stream.